Good afternoon, potato chips. How you doing? It's wee Paddy from across the shuck. And I've got another lovely wee video, and it's on this wee knife that's here. This is an Almar knife, and this knife goes back a fair bit. So I haven't done any research on it. It's just new to me. I haven't done any research. I will do it because I want to talk a bit about Almar and Japan and where knife making sort of, has spread. Almar, they used to be made by Moki, I believe, but again, I want to do all the research before I do it. Slick Slicers has a couple of these, and I like them. I think he has the original ones. Not too sure, but I think he has the original Moki made ones. This one's made in Japan, which is the newer version, which they've started bringing out now, or not made in Japan, made in China, and that's where they're made now. I know Almar, I believe, has passed away now. I don't know whether he's got family. Again, more information I want to find out about. But it comes a lovely package. It's about £58. Now, the materials on it, it's just dyed bone. And I'll explain that sort of in when I'm talking about it in the main thing. It's Aussie steel. I don't know what Chinese Aussie is like compared to Japanese, but so far it takes a screaming edge, I can tell you that. But so does HCR13, much to other people's, and 440A takes a screaming edge too. But that's stop arguing, Paddy. I'm arguing with myself here. Sorry, you just carry on watching this beautiful wee knife. Anyway, it comes in a lovely box. It really is a nice, good, solid, sturdy box. You get the knife, and you also get this beautiful sheath, which is absolutely lovely. Leather sleeve sheath, absolutely gorgeous. But we'll talk more about that when we go to the... I was setting up to do this video, and I thought, I don't know enough about it. And what I'd done was got two of my other lockbacks out. Now, I stopped, as you know, I've stopped buying so many locking knives because I just love my traditionals and they're legal to carry over here. All that blah, blah, blah. These are not legal to carry. But I love carrying them about the house or down the caravan. I bought these two, well, this one's just recently, and these two last year. And that was probably after I bought the Buck 110. I have a Buck 110 and a Buck 55, which I bought years ago and never really used. Because if I wanted a locking knife, I went to my, modern locking knives. When I got the Buck 110, it changed my whole opinion on locking knives. I love the Buck 110. Not for its material value, but it's just a flippin' good knife. It's a big heavy thing. But it's great if you're doing manual work to have something like that about you can feel in your hand. That's why I like it. So that led me on to buying this one. This is a GEC, number 99 Wall Street, and this is in elk. And it's a beautiful Warncliffe, which is just great for detailed work and all. And I really, really enjoyed that knife. Now, this is in 440C, which is why I went for it. Although it was a lockback, it was my first GEC knife in 440C, and I wanted to see how it performs. It performs brilliantly. Heat treated lovely. I love this knife. And then I went on and bought this one because this is in the usual 1095 carbon steel. And I had to have one of them as well because I'm a knife nut. And then I see this, and this is on Moonraker. It's the only place I've seen them. I'm sure there's other places, but in the UK, the only place I've seen was Moonraker. And it's £57.95, £58, which is quite expensive for, what people would call expensive. But to me, it is stunning. And the one thing you got to say about the Chinese, they get something that, this has come from Japan. It's still the same shape and form that I believe that the old Japanese ones were made. It's a hawk. It's called the Almar hawk. It is beautiful. It's just dyed bone. It's machined, jigged, and they're very basic, but when you put the whole package together of how they've dyed the bone and spent specific time on the jigging, the smoothness around the sides of it, this beautiful stainless steel, and the Chinese and the Japanese really do stainless steel fabulously. I mean, that is beautiful, beautifully done. And the blade is really like a little dagger blade. It's only got a cutting edge of about 2¼ inches, and closed it's 3¼ So it's a really delicate little, not delicate, but it's actually really, really sturdy. Now, the one thing that I've noticed that people always talk about lock rock and things like that. And when you get a lock back, there's usually always a little bit of lock rock. And there is in my GECs, both of them. Nothing that you would, it's very, very minuscule, but it's there. And you have to be honest and say, these are the best production knives, or the best production company, GEC, in the world for me. But this Chinese made, and there is nothing on this. There is no movement whatsoever. Whereas there is that tiny, again, you've got to be honest when you're doing reviews, otherwise people will bite you. And I haven't done a review on this one. I haven't done a full review on that one either, because I was a bit confused in my head. Why am I buying lockbacks again? And the simple answer would be because they're traditional, and I'm starting on that traditional journey. But that's not it. They're just a flipping good knife. And if you're going to do a bit of manual work, this here does everything I ever need in a day. Everything. I do not need, since I've had this, I've probably used my Para 3 and my other locking knives, my Benchmade 940. I use this all the time. If I feel that I need a locking blade, and even when I don't, I still pull this out at home to go down and cut cardboard up and things like that for the bins. So, and absolutely cracking. I love the 440C. I've only had to strop it. I haven't had to resharpen it again, and I've had this one quite a while. And I use it quite a lot. Not heavy use, but it's used quite a lot. So this, I was ripping a package open yesterday that had come for me, nothing knife related. But I stuck this in and went across it. Well, my God, that little tip is just lethal. Absolutely lethal. And you can see with this wedge, it comes down for a small knife. It comes down to a pretty good tip. It's sturdy. I don't feel at all, it's not a thin enough blade. But look at the blade stock. I mean, this will slice through anything. And it's a lovely little small knife. I mean, I keep saying the words weddings and funerals. To me, this is in any time, anywhere that you want to bring out a knife that's beautiful, is not going to frighten people. Even with that pointy, sharp blade, it's small enough. And when it's brought out, that's what you see. I mean, it's in the palm of your hand. I mean, that's all you see. And to me, that is beautiful. Beautiful, and yet basic materials. So, we don't have to go out for this titanium and rare metals. This, to me, listen to that lockup. I'll let you hear that again. Listen to this. Isn't that just as crisp as you're ever got? That's like closing of a Rolls Royce door. It's just beautiful. So it's made in China now. So I think they have hit it on the head, because to buy a proper Almar from Moki, or buy a Moki knife, I should say, is wildly expensive. And I don't think their fit and finish could be any better than this. I genuinely don't. I don't have one, so I don't really know. But I don't think they're any better than this. They put thumb studs on this. To be honest with you, the thumb studs on this, because the detent is so good in this, to get it out, it's a small knife. I use both fingers on either side, push it out like that, and then pull it up. It's the only way I've found to do it comfortably. But it's a two-step procedure, which is, it's fidget. I enjoy fidgeting with, traditional knives. The fact that you have to do that and do that is nothing. I'm never in that much of a rush to get my knife out. So this is beautiful, and I can't wait to do the review, get a bit of history, and let you know about it. Now, the next thing, lockbacks in general. Why am I buying lockbacks? I don't see me buying a whole lot more, because I've sort of, although I will, that's more of a dagger point. I want a spear point, but in another brand. And I might get a drop point if I've seen one in another brand. And they're going to be traditional as well. They're not going to be modern. I just love it. This hobby is enough to drive you insane. I do it many times, I have said, and I'm sure you're the same. Right, that's it. I've got enough of that. I'm going to move on to something else. And then all of a sudden, you're at 5 of them knives, like I am now. My Buck 110, the 55, these 3, and I have a little Rough Rider peanut locking knife. So I'm now a collector of them. It's now an addiction. So, but I don't really intend to buy a whole lot more of them, because I do like just an ordinary traditional lock. But I just, is there a pattern that you have collected? Now, whether, I don't care whether they're traditional or whether they're modern knives, is there a pattern out there in the last year that you have clicked with, but yet somehow you don't know how you got there because it wasn't something that was on your radar? And I'm sure anybody who's a knife collector or a YouTuber, especially YouTubers out there too, join in. Is there something out there? It's not an open tag or anything, but just join in. Is there in this last year, in the last 12 months, is there a brand or is there a knife shape or is there a locking mechanism that you have ended up with that you didn't think you needed? And I'm sure, I could pick another few, but this one is the one that sort of stuck me because I haven't done the full reviews in these because I don't know why I'm enjoying them so much, because I enjoy my traditional. You see, that's it. I enjoy all flipping knives. I wish it was as simple as just saying, and do I still like my 940 and my Para 3? Yeah, I love them. They're fantastic knives, but I am using this traditional type more often. So you can really only make videos on what you're buying. And I've been doing an awful lot of buying now. I had a Cold Steel on the channel. I think I have another locking knife coming this week, the end of this week. But I just love the fact that you could get caught up in something that you didn't think you wanted or you would ever collect as a YouTuber or a knife collector, whatever you want to call me. So there's that little video short. This is fantastic so far. I can't believe, for the very basic materials, but the fit, the finish, and the way they have used basic bone to make it look so attractive. And even the blade shape and the grinds on the blade is really good. Are they perfect? Maybe not completely perfect, but it still looks, the overall package looks great. So there you go, a wee quick short one today. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you very shortly, I'm sure, for another wee video. Take care, all the best. Paddy to bye now, bye.